Thank you, Mr. Chairman, very much. According to CBS analysis of federal data, Amazon's delivery truck contractors consistently have higher safety violation rates compared to the rest of the industry. From 2019 to 2024, Amazon's contractors had a violation rate roughly double the industry average. Because of Amazon's nefarious corporate practices of misclassifying workers and shirking its joint employer responsibilities, Amazon itself has not been held accountable by regulators for the performance of its fleet. Each individual subcontracted delivery truck company faces consequences when something goes wrong. Companies like Amazon can use this subcontracting scam to wash their hands of responsibility for the overall performance of their operations. An operation the size and scale of Amazon's, lacking a comprehensive safety record for which the company can be held accountable, is dangerous for drivers and other motorists and unfair to companies that play by the rules. Mr. O'Brien, do you agree that Amazon's trucking model shields the company from accountability for its safety record?
It absolutely does.
And in your view, maybe you can expand, does Amazon structure its operations this way to avoid accountability?
Yes, I testified earlier that, they use a lot of these independent contractors, these smaller companies that have their own individual DOT numbers, which it's tough to point to saying Amazon's responsible, and Amazon will say, well, they're not direct employees of ours, they're subcontractors. So it's a game, it's a scam. And you look at an employer like United Parcel Service that is similar in nature, where they have all direct employees, they have a proven track safety program in place, collectively administered by the union and by management, where we do the same exact work, the same neighborhoods, and we've got a stellar record in safety because of the training and the cooperation and the work collectively by both. Now, I'll give you a prime example, and everybody sees Amazon in their neighborhoods. If you look at an Amazon truck in your neighborhood delivering, you look at the shape that truck is in, you look at the condition it's in, and then you look at the condition that a UPS truck is in, that'll tell the story right there.
Yep, and so as a result, safety just falls into a regulatory black hole. Who's responsible? So that's the issue. Mr. Chairman, I have a letter from the Truck Safety Coalition that I would like to enter into the record.
Without objection.
Thank you. In Mr. Spear's testimony, he discusses at length an argument we often hear, Mr. O'Brien, from the trucking industry. The government should weaken safety regulations, such as lowering the minimum age to hold a commercial driver's license from 21 to 18 to address the trucking industry driver shortage. Trucking is a very dangerous industry. Any argument to lower safety standards deserves close scrutiny. So let's examine the so-called, the word shortage. The pool of qualified workers is too small, but 2 million people hold commercial driver's licenses in the United States, and hundreds of licenses are issued every single year. All these qualified drivers are competing for about 900,000 long-haul trucking jobs. And while there are plenty of qualified drivers available, many trucking companies struggle to retain these drivers. In fact, this is an incredible number, 90% of truck drivers leave their job after 1 year, 90%. This high level of turnover suggests the issue might not be whether there are enough drivers, but whether existing drivers are getting enough out of the job. So before we take more actions to make trucking less safe, Mr. O'Brien, do you believe that a 90% turnover rate in the long-haul trucking is the sign of a healthy industry?
No, I think long-haul trucking is a very difficult job. I think we can all agree to that. It's a lot of time away from your family, a lot of sacrifice. But if you have a 90% turnover ratio, then there is something wrong in the industry. When you look at unionized carriers who have 10 to 15% turnover ratio, that's significant because that means people are happy with their wages, they're happy with their benefits. When you have a race to the bottom and people keep leaving jobs after 12 months or leaving the industry, and I think the number we have, there's 4 to 6 million people in this country that hold CDL licenses, and I believe 3.5 million are actually on the roads today. So there is definitely a breakdown somewhere, and we know for a fact that when people aren't making the highest wages, when they're not getting the best benefits, they're not going to stay at a job.
Yeah, so when wages are too low, you're obviously going to have massive turnover. And a 90% turnover rate shows workers are not thriving. And any argument that says that they are is just not credible. My father was a truck driver, sat at our kitchen table every night, every morning. I'm a senator, but he got paid a living wage, okay? And so truck drivers are hardworking people. My father was 6'1", 265, and you can just see what that truck driver looked like, okay? These are hard.
They had good diners back then, sir.
This should be?
They had good diners at the truck stops back then.
Yeah, the times have changed, and we're going to have to build in protections to make sure that those people who could put 3 children through college and law school, have protections, benefits that fit the hard work that they put in every day. I thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Well, thank you, Senator Markey, and thank you to all of our witnesses. This has really been a terrific hearing. We've appreciated all of your testimony. Senators will have until the close of business on Tuesday, July 29th to submit additional questions for the record, and the witnesses will have until the close of business on Tuesday, August 12 to respond to those questions. This concludes today's hearing. The committee stands adjourned.